Okay, so to get started, I pulled Gabe's. Do you like Gabe or Gabriel? Which do you like?
I like Gabe.
Gabe, okay. Gabe, I pulled your grades. And you know how to go on SIS and look up those grades?
Yep.
Pretty much everyone does now. We're so computer savvy, right? So here's your grades right now. I pulled up your missing assignments too, just so you could have like something to take home and check off. So you can, even if you want to, I think we're in fifth right now. So if you want to get these from your teacher, maybe. Do you have some of these?
You have them, and you're supposed to turn them in.
I have this one.
Okay.
And I turned this one in, but she didn't get it.
You turned it in.
But
okay.
I didn't get it, so like maybe like.
Did you check the?
So you can redo
box?
it.
Yeah, I think I can redo it. And then I have this one right here.
Okay, so can you turn these two in today?
Yeah.
Because that is only because of your assignment grades, so you turn those in, that's going to go way up.
Then after I do this one, I can do this.
Have you redid the math test yet?
No, she won't let me till Friday.
Okay, so that's the plan. And you know, with most of your math assignments and things, because when we were kids, you turned something in, that was the grade you got. Now, a lot of times the ones you miss, you can redo the ones you miss and get credit for those.
Yeah, and I'm redoing most of them.
He has no missing, but there's 2 or 3 under 70.
Yeah, so you can redo
I have those in a different slot in my binder so I can do
Perfect. Look how organized you are. That's what we like to see. So I just thought you could take that home with you, check things off, and you could see where your grades are. We just had parent-teacher conferences, so you probably just had all this.
Yeah.
Just so you can see it, see where we're at. So let's get started. Do you know what high school you're going to next year?
Payson.
Okay. So you don't need this one. Payson's green. Aren't we handy like that? So to get started, let's have you fill out this top part. Your name, your grade, and do you have any career interests like that you're kind of leaning towards right now? Like any areas that you're more interested in than others?
Not really yet.
No.
Probably.
Well, we can come back to that. So just fill out this top part. You can use your pencil. You can use my pen. Whatever.
Can you scoot closer?
No, I'm good.
This is for Payson.
Yeah, we live in Payson, so it's just more convenient to set in there.
Yeah. Just comes out the boundaries. Okay, so we'll come back to this then. So these are the pathways, and here's more information. This is a more detailed list. So pathways are some, because we haven't been through high school before with your mom, so pathways are something like if you're interested in mechanics or health or any of these areas, you can take more classes in this area to explore it. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I love it, I want to do more classes in this area. Some of them you can have college credit in it, so it can help you on your path if you're in college or you know where you're interested in. Others you can just explore and be like, you know what, I like it, but I'm not interested in it. So it can just give you more information. So we like to have kids kind of circle a few pathways that they're interested in, and we give them some more information so you kind of have a well-rounded view of where you're headed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So are any of these, and this is a more detailed list. We have some health science and technology, business and marketing, family and consumer science, like medical assistant. These are all medical, therapeutics, nursing, so agriculture, we have a bunch of areas. Information technology, so computer stuff, more computers, engineering. This is a bunch of computer stuff. So if you're interested in computers, these are all pathways that you could just find more information on. So are any of these things you'd be interested in or just learning more about? So even if you could be like, you know what, never mind. Once I learned about that, I'm out.
You know, you want to build things. Like drafting design is good. Small engineer repair. It's good to have that kind of stuff under your belt.
Yeah,
to learn how to fix things.
It's just what you're interested in. This isn't something that says, well, I circled that and now I have to do this all through high school. It's just time to start thinking about what you're interested in, right? So we can just start thinking about it. All right? Yeah. I'm not saying you have to know this right now. So let's think about, I'm going to take this back from you. Do you know what your electives are right now? Spanish.
Yeah.
Can you write Spanish right there?
Art next semester.
You have art next semester, write that down. You have orchestra. So are you going to keep Spanish up next year?
Yeah.
Okay, so write Spanish down for next year. Let's see. So these are what you need to graduate. There's 26 credits there.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing this year. So you're doing your math, you're doing in English, so see how Every year you have some that you have to take. These are the ones that are like locked pretty much in stone. You got to get these done.
Yeah.
So every year your list gets smaller. So by the time you're a senior, your requirements are pretty much taken care of as long as you're passing all your classes, which you are. So we got to keep that up. So all these will get taken care of as long as you're done. One of the things you have to take that you don't have right now is health. So you need to write that down on one of these years. That you need to write a health.
Is that
lesson.
an elective?
No, health's a requirement. You have to take it.
It's not up here at all.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, there we go.
You can take it in 9th grade.
Okay.
Some kids are, but you can take it in 10th grade too. So health's right here. You have to take a health and a PE. So he has participation skills right now. That's going to count for his PE. But you have to have 2 credits of it. So that's a half credit. Health's a half credit. So every year we just take a little
more
bit.
credit.
Yep. So you can take another PE class. Things like that. We'll build it up and get all of these taken care of. So write down, you have a health. You need to take one of these years. Sophomore or junior year is usually, you can even wait till your senior year, but most people usually get it done freshman or sophomore year.
Yeah,
So,
I might get it done in 10th grade.
and this isn't, we're not registering right now. This is just our plan to remind you the
What
things
you're
we want to
thinking
get
of,
done.
yeah.
We're not picking specific classes right now. So another thing, so this is where our pathway kind of comes into play. If you have some interest, like computer tech's another thing you have to get some credits in.
Yeah.
So if you're not registered for this year, computer tech, you're going to need some credits in. So write that down in one of these.
Oh yeah, I was gonna take that over the summer, but we forgot.
And you can do that.
We can do it over
We'll
the
talk
summer.
about that some more.
Yes, we spaced it off this summer, but
Okay, so, and this is where your electives come into play too. So a lot of these classes we're talking about in our pathways are going to be electives. So this is where you would, if you're thinking about engineering or drafting, that's where your electives you're going to want to think about. But we don't have to write those in stone. So if you have an interest, you can just write it down that I want to explore welding, or I want to explore an engineering, because we have some engineering classes. So we'll talk about those too and some options for you to take those. But we don't have to do that right now. So let's talk about where you can take these classes. Let's see. We're going to talk about concurrent enrollment. All this is a bunch of information I'm going to give you. First off, concurrent enrollment. Do you guys know what concurrent enrollment is? Okay. This is fun then. Concurrent enrollment is mostly going to happen once you're a junior. You can take classes concurrently at the high school, and we do it in our valley through UVU. So you pay like a $35 fee, and then it's $5 a credit, so it's about $15 a class. But if you're taking it through a college when you're like a freshman, it's about $600 a class. So you can take a bunch of classes and get college credit for them.
and get paid less.
Yes, a ton less. So that's an option that, while you're taking your math and your like English and things like that, if you are taking them all through high school, there's a lot of classes that you can get concurrent enrollment credit for. Advanced placement is kind of the same, but it's different in that you can be taking the class in high school and not get college credit for it because you have to register and take the AP test. So it's just a different type of college credit. So it's a little different. So you have to make sure what you're registering for. Distance learning is a type of class where it's at the ALC, which I'll give you a brochure on and we'll go into some detail at, where if there's a class he wants to take, where if it's on engineering or if it's on drafting or something and we don't offer it here at the high school, we bus kids to the ALC. It's in Springville, and then we bus them back. So it's like in their schedule, and kids from like maybe Springville or Mapleton or wherever, or maybe other places in the state are watching a college professor teach a class, and they're watching it on a screen, and then they have microphones and things, and they can comment or ask questions from where they're
Kind
at.
of like homeschooling.
Right.
They have those kind of
Same
things.
type of concept. So the ALC, I'll give you some more detail on. The MATC is over by ALA.
Yeah.
And you can take classes through there on what they offer and get some high school credit for, and also get some job skills if that's an area you're interested in. The online courses, it looks like you were kind of thinking of taking a computer tech class, and you might have looked into
To
it a
have
little bit.
some information from another counselor in here, I think.
We have some information in here on that. So if you're interested in taking some online classes, there's an electronic high school or the NEBO school. So almost everything we offer, you can also take an online option. One thing I'll warn you about with the online option,
It's PE's hard on it.
PE's hard on it. It's a little harder, but it's all on you. You're not having a teacher who's like coming and checking on you, or you're not you have to be the one who's really driving that train. So if you're not very self-motivated, it's kind of hard because you can't put it off all to the end and then catch up. So if you're interested,
overwhelming.
so if you're interested in that, It can be a good option if there's a class you want to take and it doesn't fit your schedule. Just make sure it's something that you're staying on top of. So there's our options for taking classes. These are some things about how we can make up classes, credit makeup. If you fail a class, come and see us. Some of the ways are going to be the online classes. Depending on your schedule, we may could fit it in, but let's just not fail a class, right?
Yeah.
All right. So do you play any sports?
No.
If you do play a sport and you're like awesome at it and you want to play in college, there's some rules about playing in college, some NCAA eligibility. So that's mostly going to come from your high school counselor, but there's some rules about that. The ACT. Do you remember taking the Explorer last year as an 8th grader? So the ACT, that's what that test was prepping you for. You're going to take it as a junior. There's some prep classes you can take through the high school. You're going to register and pay. And you can take it a couple times if you're not happy with your score. But it's something you have to prepare for. Our colleges are going to require it. Yeah. They want to score. They want to see what you know to get into. So it's something you just need to be aware of and prepare for. You're going to take a prep as a sophomore too, through the school. The FAFSA. Have either of you guys ever heard of the FAFSA? Okay, it's a free application for student aid. And even if you are paying for college on your own, everyone still wants you to fill out the FAFSA because a lot of scholarships require it. A lot of entrance exam, just applications want you to fill out the FAFSA. So it's how you would get grants or financial aid or anything like that. It's a free application. If you're ever filling it out and people want money, that's not the real FAFSA. That's not it. Yeah. So here's the real website. And that's you're going to fill out your senior year. But it's good to just start being aware of these things. Yeah. Utah Futures and the Step Up Utah are some information on ACT prep, planning for college. There's also some scholarship information on both these sites. Mm-hmm. Scholarships, you think that they're senior, junior year, but a lot of things you can start applying for and preparing for now. So both of these websites have some information and worksheets that you can just start keeping track of accomplishments, if it's through your community or whatever. And you'd think that they're whatever, it's later, but there's a lot of things you can start planning for and preparing for and filling out. Mm-hmm. Some scholarships, there's a GIF scholarship that kids in kindergarten can apply for just for making up a recipe with peanut butter. So it's a huge scholarship. So there's a lot out there. New Century Scholarship and Centennial Scholarships are just scholarships that we want you to be aware of. This Regent Scholarship is a scholarship that just for having good grades, taking classes in the right order, it's an extra credit of English and an extra credit of math. But by taking the classes and having, I think it's a 3.0 or above, but don't quote me on that, and a certain ACT score, you can qualify for, this might not be 100% accurate because sometimes they change the requirements. Mm-hmm. So you have to check their website. But just by doing this, the highest award given is $1,200 a semester for 2 years. So just by doing the things to graduate high school and doing well in your classes, you can qualify for the scholarship. All the students in Utah it's open to. Cool. So, but you have to go through their website. So go, and as a freshman, go register with them, start an account, and just track your classes. And they're really open to talking to you and telling you if you're on the right path, if you're following their rules and guidelines. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of communication. But you're already in school, you might as well be trying to get any money you can. Yeah. Because you get it as soon as you register for college or after 1, 2, 4 or more program. Wherever you're getting higher education, you might as well use the money to pay for it. So those are all things I'm going to put in here to send home with you. The next thing, this is more on concurrent enrollment, so you can start exploring those. So it seems like it's a long way away, but it comes fast. It does. Just like anything. They were just in kindergarten, right?
Elementary just went.
Right? So this is the ALC. So this is the Learning Center in Springville that if you want to take classes, they'll bus you to there. So we have things in digital media, computer programming, pre-med and health science, engineering and design, film and video production, computer networking, which, let's be honest, I have no idea, but it's amazing what we can do with computers. Building construction, so
I like
early college.
Right here.
So computer programming and digital media. So I think we have a computer. Let's just write that on here.
Even in that one right there.
What?
The film or the computer and network.
Network.
Yeah. Even being able to know this about your own home. Like, you could fix all the computer stuff. Because how often are you like, I have no idea what's going on? So, like, why don't you write just in your career interest, just computer and information.